can hear me. Perfect. I'm Scott Biederman, Board Chair of the Eau Claire Chamber. Welcome. We've got all the board ambassadors. You can see the chamber ambassadors with the blue coats on over there. You'll see those folks at all of these ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings. So welcome. Perfect day for this. Couldn't have gotten much nicer this time of the year, especially after this last weekend. On behalf of, I think we've got about 40,000 employees from 1,300 chamber members that we have. Congratulations on this renovation and what an important part of this neighborhood you guys are. So congratulations and thank you. I don't have much else to say. So Jim Degnan, Board President.
Thank you, Scott. Wow, what a great day to have everybody here. What a great opportunity to welcome everybody in our community to something that's very exciting and is going to take place here over the next 9 months or so. So good morning. On behalf of the Board of Directors here at the L.E. Phillips Senior Center, welcome to a groundbreaking celebration that's been a decade in the making. As Board President, I stand here today with excitement and deep gratitude for the many individuals who have financially supported the L.E. Phillips Senior Center since its original fundraising campaign 25 years ago when this building was built. Those visionary days brought together entities like the L.E. Phillips Family Foundation, the City of Eau Claire County, and hundreds of others, both businesses, nonprofits, and individuals to provide the financial infrastructure for what soon became a welcomed environment for thousands to age in place. Since then, as the population has continued to age, so too the demand has continued to grow. Almost a decade ago now, the Board of Directors began developing a strategic plan with an initial focus on addressing a parking shortage, believe it or not. Fortunately, funds were made available back then primarily through a campaign then called Parking for Tomorrow. And some houses were purchased just to the west of Babcock Street here, demolished in the name of progress, and additional parking was achieved. Today, after considerable planning and continued fundraising, including our most recent campaign called Fit for the Future, the tomorrow referenced 10 years ago has arrived. Undoubtedly, the silver tsunami is real. And here in Eau Claire County, no different than throughout America, we indeed are experiencing and will continue to experience a rapid growth in the number of individuals over age 65. It has been predicted for years that the doubling of the number of seniors is coming, and thus the communities that prepare for that will be best positioned to meet the needs of a segment of our population that will soon number 1 out of every 5 people. During my time on the board over the past 23 years, I've had the privilege to work with a few different executive directors, including Mary Pika Anderson, who behind me here has served with us for the past 13 and a half years. Mary's commitment to personal health and wellness, yes. You're gonna get another round of applause when I introduce you. Mary's commitment to personal health and wellness has been the driving force behind the development of a fitness center in the lower level of our building, this existing building. Shortly after she arrived, she's listening to the membership, what their interests were, and believe it or not, we had a basement populated with some fitness equipment from Sears, and it was being used all the time, and so from there the seed was planted to grow a real fitness center, and that's what's become downstairs and will become where we're standing right now. The 7,000 square foot addition will be a welcome addition to this building's very functional social, mental health, physical type of fitness activities. And Mary's care and concern for each person that walks or wheels through the center's doors is utterly amazing, is what's going to make this expansion possible. Now, before I actually introduce Mary, please everyone just know how grateful I and the board members who are here are for this community support of the L.E. Phillips Senior Center. I want to definitely recognize any board members who are here If you're on our board, could you please just raise your hand so we can recognize you for your commitment to the operation here? You know, sometimes boards of directors have a sequencing executive committee of president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. You know, once you become the president, you're only going to be the president for a while. I don't know if I was told that 13 years ago, but even being on the board, we don't usually see people get off the board very often. And I think it's the tenacity of the board built from the interest level of the board members to stay on the board and see things through. And here, as we work with our aging population, that's not just a quick swipe right? It's not just a quick text message lifestyle. We've been here in the making for a long time, and the strategic plan is about what is about going to happen. So we're very, very proud to begin construction. We're very thankful for the center's legacy in this county, because this legacy really, in our minds, is now just beginning. We look forward to this expansion. We look forward to the renovation that's going to take place in the lower level once the fitness center moves into this existing, or into the new building. And so by spring 2021, we will all see an expanded senior center that Mary will probably tell you, next to possibly the senior center in Madison, is the most active senior center, not just in Wisconsin, but in the upper Midwest. We as community citizens don't necessarily know that until we start using them ourselves. And as I look around, if you're over age 50, you're eligible to be a member here. That's it, over age 50. So we encourage people at all ages above. Think about the decades of people that come through these doors that can use what we see here on the board for the future. So, Mary, would you come up and take it away? Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys are going to make me cry. You know, we cry together. Thank you. In my job, I'm very short. People here know I'm right to the point. But basically, what I want to say is thank you. Thank you to all of our participants. And we call those that come to the L.E. Phillips Senior Center participants, because we want everybody in the city of Eau Claire to know when they wake up and they decide they're old enough, they can come to the center. They don't have to be like a member of anything. So participants, you are the chiefs, and as I've always told you, I'm one of your Indians. So they basically keep me going, they keep the staff going, and we're so appreciative of them because they are a big part of the success of this campaign. So the last thing I just want to mention is I would like to acknowledge some of the larger donors, and I know some are here, but you know, the L.E. Phillips Family Foundation, we know the center was named after the L.E. Phillips family because of the support they have given us in the past. Well, they came through again. They challenged us, and the community and our members met that challenge, which is why we can make this expansion today. But I do just want to recognize some of the larger donations that were given and some of the names you're going to see on the wall. So besides the L.E. Phillips Family Foundation, we have, and many of you members and participants will remember with a warm heart, Don and Leatrice Matheson. Their name will fly high on the fitness center because Don came every day to exercise. Every day he was here working out. He had a plan, don't get in his way. He knew where he was going and what he was doing. So that's what Don did. The Presto Family Foundation has also been a large donor to the center, and their name will be going on our group exercise room. We have so many amazing class participants that we will now have 2 group exercise rooms to participate and have the variety of programs that this population is looking for in regards to navigating growing old. Annie's here, the Gruey Family Foundation, our fund, will be donating their dollars to our lower level community cafe. It's really going to be cool, you guys. You're going to love it. It's an area where you can go down, read a book, play a game, nice little relaxing fireplace to sit by, a great place to socialize and have some peace and quiet. The David and Rita Nelson Family Fund, we're going to hear a little bit later about the Nelson family. They're not in Eau Claire. They were part of Eau Claire years ago. Very small part, but Eau Claire left an impact on their lives. So they sneak some of their dollars back into the community via the Eau Claire Foundation. So we're very appreciative of that connection. And last but not least is Charter Bank. Charter Bank was one of our very first donors, and their name will be going on the billiard room. So with that said, I will tell you this, that myself and the staff at the center are looking so forward to what we are going to be able to provide the aging population in Eau Claire, a place to navigate through life, grow old, be happy, and be strong volunteers that live and move throughout our community of Eau Claire. Okay? Thank you. I think I'm going to play the person that introduces the next person. So, Mr. Bunkelman, are you here? Okay, I got to tell you, this guy's daughter is a gymnast, and so I've had to judge her a few times. She's a pretty good little gymnast.
I don't know how I got the short straw to follow Mary, but I'm going to do my best. So, I want to start off by saying, wow, I'm humbled and honored to be here. Not only as a board member, but as a successful contractor. The opportunity that building this and creating this for the community is going to offer myself, my employees, all of us. We couldn't be more thankful to be part of this. It's a great, amazing thing. You look around here, all of you support this. It's wonderful to see the community come out and understand that our aging population still needs fitness. They still need social. They still need these activities. It's just amazing. Everybody that's donated, right? I wouldn't have the opportunity to be here and create jobs and work and the opportunity for my folks if people didn't donate their money and their time to this cause. Whether that's $1, whether that's your expertise, whether that's your time, whether it was thousands of dollars, it doesn't matter. Everything counts. And I couldn't be more thankful for all of you that are here and probably likely all of you that donated in some fashion. We have some partners in this and some notable ones that I should make sure to recognize and thank. Wendell Architects, I know David Kimball and his staff are here. What you're going to see in 6 to 8 months is the brains of him and his staff as well. Yeah, we're builders, but his vision for what this could be, you're going to get to see that, and we couldn't have done that without him. So I want to keep this brief, but I want to say thank you. I appreciated it from the board level, from a business perspective. This couldn't be a greater thing. So thank you, and thank you again.
Thanks, Joe. Steve Olson. Okay, so I had to tell Steve 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Steve, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna tell on Steve. Steve lied about his age to join the LA Phillips Senior Center. But let me tell you why that's not good. Steve used to be a police officer. Busted, right? Okay. So Steve is amazing. He is an incredible mentor for all of us that navigate growing old, and he's just going to give you a little perspective of what it's like to be a participant here at the center. Thanks, Steve. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Mary. I have 4 pages. 30 words per page. Large print. Well, first off, I want to welcome to everybody here today because it's a very special day. We're gathered together to celebrate a new chapter in the life of the L.E. Phillips Senior Center. The construction of the much-needed addition has become a reality, and today we rejoice in that outstanding accomplishment. As a member of the Senior Center, I would be amiss if I did not share with you what this community offers to each and every member. What we see and what we feel is a place that so many of us call our second home. It is the hustle and bustle of people living out their lives in fullness as best as they can. It is a place where people can go and be afforded the opportunity to gather together as family and friends. It is a place where they can share their stories and seek out guidance. A place where people are accepted and understood. It is a place where one can pursue health, happiness, and fitness, and to be stimulated intellectually and express their emotions when hard times befall them. The reality is, without socialization, people die mentally, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, and physically. They die. Last but certainly not least is our willingness to support each other as we age in this world of uncertainty, simply by caring for and accepting each other unconditionally. In closing, we, the members of the L.E. Phillips Senior Center, offer our most sincere gratitude to everyone who has contributed their time, talents, and treasures to make this dream come true. The additional space will provide our senior population the current programs that are now provided, as well as additional programs of which all are so vitally important to maintain the best possible lifestyle for our aging population. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank everyone who has participated in this dream that come true to your aging population in this community and the surrounding communities as well. Thank you very much. I believe we have Dale Peters coming up next.
Oh, okay, Steve. Thank you. Really quick, for those of you, I mean, Dale is amazing. Dale wanted to retire when? Way back in May? Yes, we've been very fortunate that through this pandemic crisis that Dale has chosen to stay on and help us through it. But more than that, we are fortunate as a senior center to have had the support from the city of Eau Claire to do this building and make this expansion. The ground that we're standing on right now was donated to the foundation or to the fundraising of the initial senior center as a block grant. And so without that donation early on, I'm not sure if we would have a senior center, to be honest with you. I wasn't back then. So we are very grateful to the city of Eau Claire for their support. We look forward to continue to give you a good return on your dollar, Dale, okay? Thank you.
Always looking for a good return on the dollar. Thank you, Mary. Of course, we are social creatures, and as a community and as a city, we're made up of people that choose to live and work and play together. People that care about each other, they take care of each other, they support each other. And if COVID has taught us anything, it's that social isolation and distance is hard. And it's not natural. We thrive when we can interact with others. And we also know that with age can come isolation and loneliness. Senior centers connect older adults to vital community services. And when they're compared with peers, senior center participants have higher levels of health, social interaction, and life satisfaction. Research shows that older adults who participate at senior centers can learn to manage and delay the onset of chronic disease, and they experience measured improvements in their physical, social, spiritual, emotional, mental, and economic well-being. Senior centers play a vital role in the mental and physical health of our seniors. And the L.E. Phillips Senior Center provides that opportunity for participating in dozens of regular activities. They haven't been mentioned yet, so I'm going to talk about just a couple because you've got bridge and Scrabble and dice and the old break room staples of sheep's head and euchre. There's other activities like wood carving and dancing and rubber stamping and crafts, and apparently where'd you go, Mary? You're a fairly fun group because you've got these River City Rubies and the Happy Hookers. I'm hoping that these Happy Hookers are really just doing knitting and crocheting, but okay. You can also do painting and sign language and yoga and Zumba and take care of your nails. But probably more than all of that activity, here, everyone is welcome. Everyone is loved. Everyone is supported. Here, all seniors can find a community to help them stay connected and healthy. Our senior population that was noted is only getting bigger and we're living longer. Our community needs this facility. So it's appropriate and fitting that we're here today to celebrate the expansion of the L.E. Phillips Senior Center. And I'd like to congratulate Mary and Jim and the board and the staff and all the donors for your hard work and planning that made this groundbreaking a reality. And Jim and Mary deserve special recognition as they've been working hard for over a decade to arrive at this very moment. And it's also very large print. And in particular, we must recognize Mary, because Mary has reached out and she kept me appraised of the progress at every step and has facilitated a smooth transition, aligning the planning and the streets and the right-of-way and the parking. Mary is an amazing, outstanding executive director, person, and leader in this community. Thank you, Mary. So congratulations, well done, and on behalf of the community and all of the current and future seniors, thank you. You're a vital, important part of making Eau Claire a great place to live, work, and play.
Thank you. As I'm listening to Dale talk, I'm going, he was listening when I'd come to the city every year and talk about the senior center. He took notes, as a matter of fact. Thank you. Next up is a gentleman who I've had an opportunity to get to know as a member of the center, but he's the county Boardman chair, Mr. Nick Schmeyer. Did I say that right? It's like liar, but with an S. So there we go. He educated me on that. Thank you, Nick. Really quick before I hand it over, also need to mention that the center is a fortunate recipient of funding from the county as well as the city of Eau Claire. So we appreciate their support, and we've every year we go and have a great conversation with them, and they have been very supportive of the center as well. So thank you, Nick.
First, a word of explanation. I am a member of the center, and in my membership, I take part in the German learning group, a small group of us who meet and practice conversational German. So with your patience, your forbearance, I'm reading my comments in German. Meine Damen und Herren, heute brechen wir den Weg für einen wichtigen Neubau für unsere Gemeinde. Diese Erweiterung unseres Seniorenzentrums wird es ermöglichen, große Zusammenkünfte zu haben, mehr Platz für kleine Grupperlebnisse zu haben und unseren Bereich für körperliche Bewegung zu erweitern. Als Vorsitzender unseres County Board und als Mitglied dieses Seniorzentrums gratuliere ich dem Phillips Senior Center zu dieser Erweiterung seiner Dienstleistungen. Danke, dass du mir zugehört hast, wie es schreckliches Deutsch ausspuckt. Ladies and gentlemen, today we break... Oh, I'm going to translate. Ladies and gentlemen, today we break ground for an important new building for our community. This extension of our senior center will make it possible to have large gatherings, to have more space for small group experiences, and to extend our area for physical exercise. As chairperson of our county board and as a member participant of this senior center, I congratulate the Phillips Senior Center on this expansion of its services. Thank you for listening to me spouting terrible German.
Thank you. Yeah, I walk by that table every day really fast. Never stop, never knew nothing, but anyway. Nick should be very humble. How many different languages do you know? He knows of at least 10. So anyway, we have a couple more people, so you guys are doing fabulous. I would like to take a minute and have Mr. Smith, Jeff Smith, come up and say a few words. Jeff, do you remember that your dad used to come here? His dad was one of the first people that I ever met at the center. He had one bike, and he was on it for so long. I mean, he was another man you did not get in his way. When he came through the door, he knew where he was going, and that bike had better be there ready for him. So a wonderful gentleman. He was very kind to me when I first started working here. So I'm glad you could come today and join us.
Thank you. Well, of course, I worked with my dad for 30 years, so yes, you never got in his way or told him how to run his business. So with that though, it's a good segue into, I'm a lifer here, and I remember the beginning of the senior center, and I remember it being on Farwell Street across from the library, and then building this was such a big deal at the time. People didn't think, well, we really need a big building like that for the senior center. You know, this is an amazing success story, an amazing support story for our community. And what all that the senior center does is, you know, you've already heard all of these things, but they also are host of forums. They also bring in all sorts of guests for members to be able to learn from. And it's just an amazing resource that I think a lot of people don't realize. It flies under the radar for some, but for some of us, it's getting closer to reality. And I appreciate this being here, and I especially appreciate that we are thinking about the physical well-being of our seniors and adding to that factor at all. So thanks again. This is a great crowd that does, obviously it's not flying under the radar for all of you. And good luck.
Okay, last but not least is Mr. Keith Jones. And I'm particularly touched that Keith is able to come here and speak because I didn't know of the Nelson family. I just one day got a call from Sue from the foundation and telling me about them. And I found that what this family and what Keith will tell you a little bit about is how much this community can touch people. You don't have to always live here forever. Eau Claire goes with you wherever you go. And this family is an example of that, the way this community touches people of all ages in all places.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you to you for all the good work you apparently do from the comments. I'm sure everyone appreciates that. My purpose here is to tell you a little bit about who the heck was David and Rita Nelson. I'll start with Rita. Both of them were born in Wisconsin, residents of Wisconsin all their life. They lived on the other side of the state, the Green Bay area. Rita was a teacher. She taught computer science back when Apple first started, I believe, and taught it through several years. And upon her retirement, she did a lot of volunteer work at a clothing center that was for the needy. David's association with this community began back in the early 60s when Post Corporation bought WAU Television. Some of you may remember that, some of you may not. Dave was the treasurer of Post Corporation and remained there until Post Corporation was sold in the mid-80s. And at that time, Dave and several of us got together and we bought the radio stations, Wax and Wave. From there, we went on forward. We bought some stations in Marshalltown, Iowa, Fargo, North Dakota, Kirksville, Missouri, and Dave was always involved. And I think probably the community he enjoyed coming to the most was Eau Claire. And he came over here at least once a month, and sometimes more often when I wasn't performing right. My association with Dave was, first of all, he was my boss, and then later on we became business partners. But Dave left some money, and through the community foundation on the other side of the state, they forwarded some money to Eau Claire through the community foundation here. And I know Dave would be very proud of that. Rita and Dave both passed away in 2017. Rita in February, and Dave at the ripe old age of 96 in July. He lived a full life and was always very, very good in the communities that he lived in and worked in. Thank you very much.
Okay, those are all of our speakers. I have never done a ground digging before, so I'm going to leave this next step up to the Eau Claire Chamber or the people in the blue. Is that it? Phil. Okay, Phil.